Alright, hey guys, Derpfish here, and I am here with something very exciting and special. Hold on, gotta make sure they're in frame here. Hopefully it's focusing, but we'll see. But I've got here Neytiri and Jake Sully from the new Avatar, well, from the old Avatar, but with the new Avatar movie coming out, it seems that, if I can bring the only box that I've saved here left, that if we look up here, McFarlane Toys has taken this opportunity and decided to create a few of the, I guess, main toys from the first movie and bring them back just before the release of the second movie. I believe they do have a few figures also from the second movie. I haven't seen them in stores, but I'm pretty sure if you go online, you can order directly from the McFarlane website and you can buy the bundles, which I'm pretty sure consist of Jake Sully, his Banshee, Neytiri, her Banshee, and I think some of the newer figures as well from the second movie that's coming. But I saw these in store and I obviously had to pick them up because I'm a huge fan. And of course, compared to the Mattel figures we had back in the day, this is definitely a big step up. And honestly, I was shocked to see them in stores. I didn't expect it, to be honest. Of course, I knew the second movie was coming finally, and I was super excited. But I didn't realize they were actually releasing figures. And obviously, McFarlane Toys is a really great brand. I have a few figures that maybe I'll review later on the channel just to kind of show them off that are also McFarlane Toys. They've just been known for their amazing quality and attention to detail. Sometimes the paint's questionable, but honestly, these figures look really great. So before we look at the figures, I don't have Jake Sully's box, but I do have Neytiri's box. Let's just take a look at the box here. So pretty standard, blue background. You got the avatar, her name, and 22 moving parts, and McFarlane Toys. The side, pretty simple. In the back, you have a beautiful picture of Neytiri riding her Banshee. Sorry, I can't tell if I'm going out of frame. Whoopsie. And obviously her Banshee sold separately. And then here we have a photo of her on the Banshee showing off the cool blacklight feature that they have, which is just a nice touch considering all of Pandora kind of glows. So I think that's pretty cool. And here, just another beautiful picture. Jake Sully's is the same, but it just has a picture of Jake Sully on the back instead. So we'll take a look at Neytiri first. Let's just get her in the frame and maybe try and block some of this background out here. And she also came with her bow, which I guess we can look at first. It's pretty well painted. It's a shame that the arrow is connected to the bow, but I think it probably just came down to not being able to incorporate a string properly, and the functionality just wouldn't have worked. And honestly, it's better than nothing, and, it works, and I'm just glad they have something to hold on to. And then she comes with an extra pair of hands for, I believe these are the bow holding hands, so pulling back the non-existent string. And then, of course, we have Neytiri herself, and she is really well done. Like, she looks, honestly, detail-wise, pretty much exactly like she does in the film, which is really awesome. And then articulation, you can just see all the different points of articulation, from her wrists, and then the double-jointed elbows, and then, of course, she can kind of, do all sorts of things. And then just the paintwork is amazing, and I don't know if you can see, but all the little blue dots even, like, they went that far. The Mattel figures, I know, they were really well for the time, but they didn't have this level, with all the little blue dots and all the different, different tones and colors. And then turning her around, the hair is also very well sculpted. Like, I think it looks really great. Yeah, they could have added more colors to it, but honestly, for the price point of these figures, this is really great. And then working our way down, we have the tail, which has really great paintwork on it. And then we have the dagger. And as other people have been saying, the only complaint I really have is that the sheath, it just kind of has that weird, awkward slit, which is a little annoying because obviously when posing her, it's easy for that to fall out. But one nice thing about it is Jake Sully doesn't have this, but this one can actually, it can rotate, but you know, that being said, you rotate it, as you can see, the dagger kind of falls out. Also, I apologize for how shaky she is. Unfortunately, I think maybe I'll have to heat up her foot, but her stand doesn't fully peg in as well as Jake Sully's, and her feet aren't as flat. Well, I think they are as flat, they are smaller. And the 4 toes, as typical Navi. But she doesn't stand as well, just due to the fact that peg doesn't go in all the way, so maybe I'll have to heat her up. She stands well if I don't touch her and I just get her in there, but obviously for recording and everything, it doesn't work so well. But we'll just get, I guess, a closer look at some of the detail. Even the inside of the ears painted. The facial expression is really great. It's a shame they didn't come with different heads so you could change the facial expressions, but honestly, for the price point, it was about $30 Canadian. So for that price point, this is a really great figure, and it's a 7-inch figure, which is really large, but it makes sense in the line because the line has the banshees and then of course some of the humans, and of course the humans are, I think, 4.5-inch figures, since the Navi are 7 inches, so they are to scale. So I just think that's nice. But it's, again, really well done. Let's see if I can get her to stand back here. And we'll just take a look at Jake Sully. So he came with his bow, which isn't as painted as Neytiri's. Don't know why that is, but same amount of detail, same style, so I guess that's all right. He also comes with his bow holding hands, I guess if that's what you want to call it, and of course, since he is an avatar and not a Navi, he has, you know, human hands and not just the 4 fingers. And then here's Jake Sully himself, and in comparison, so you can see he is actually a little bit taller than Neytiri, so they did really good with the scaling. And we'll just take a closer look at him. As you can see, that same really great face sculpt. He looks exactly like he does in the movie, which is really nice. Sure, there could be some better detailing, but again, for $30, this is great. And then his little knife is on the front. Again, that weird slit. Apparently, McFarlane's notorious for doing these weird slits like this. I don't know why, because it's hard to pose, and like I get, like, maybe it's just, you know, it keeps it thinner and it's easier to put the knife in, but at the same time it just looks a little bit strange, and of course the functionality is not really that great. Now in terms of detailing, again, just as great. He has focuses, those blue dots, and then this patchwork in here is really great. Of course, could be more paint, but honestly, the detail work kind of makes up for the lack of maybe paint details on some of these brown aspects and even on this cloth here. But it still looks really great. And we'll turn him around and look at the hair. Again, looks really great. Could maybe use a little bit more color, but again, for the price point, it's, let's see if I can focus. It's really great detail work. Working down, the tail has the nice stripes down it. And again, as you can see, he stands a lot better than Neytiri does, so I think I'll just have to heat her up and fix that, but that's fine. But again, he looks really great, and of course, since he is an avatar, he's a little bit bulkier than the Navi are. Of course, there's no other Navi figures but Neytiri to show an example with, and obviously she's also thinner because she is a female Navi, so it's a bit not quite of a fair comparison. But that is the two figures. Really great. Again, you can't beat this sort of quality for price point, and honestly, it's smart of McFarlane. A lot of people are complaining that McFarlane's just doing this for a big money grab, you know, releasing these toys that are from a movie from 2009, you know, right before the new movie, but I think it's smart. You know, a lot of collectors, you know, weren't a huge fan of the Mattel line just due to the scale being super small, and, you know, I think that's just the biggest complaint, is the scale was just really small, and for collectors, you know, to have these nice big figures, I guess, for comparison, I have an Amber collection, Owen Grady, you know, to have a scale like this for collectors is something that people want, you know, something that you can sit on your shelf and you'll see it. Like the Mattel figures were what, yay big? And obviously for collectors, that's not really gonna stand out on your shelf. We'll put Mr. Owen Grady back in there. But these are great, and honestly, it's smart of McFarlane. Like, they know what they're doing, and honestly, they're a great company, and I don't really have any complaints. You know, for the money, these figures are amazing, and the line that we have so far looks really great, so I won't complain. So, one final look at the two of these together. Again, if you see them in your shops and you're a huge fan, I'd pick them up. Like, again, they're great. So that's Jake and Neytiri, and I have the Banshees that we'll take a look at in the next video, just because I don't want this video to be too long, and I just kind of wanted to try and only showcase a few things at a time, so I figured doing Jake and Neytiri together would make most sense. So if you like this video, I would appreciate dropping a like down below. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and I'm hoping to be able to post more collectors videos of figures and whatnot soon. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and in the next video we'll be checking out either one or the other of their Banshees. Since there's a lot more to go over with the Banshees, I'll probably split that up, but we'll see. So again, it's Jake and Neytiri, the McFarlane Avatar figures. Alright, catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.